I'm Cornelius Hawker, and frontline workers are getting vaccinated in central Indiana. We tell you where, coming up next.
Now that the opportunity is here for it to be addressed through vaccines, we want to be a part of that process.
Tonight, we show you how community groups are working to make sure those who need it most have access to the COVID vaccine.
We'll focus on flurries early tonight, then it's all about the temperature.
From the station working for you, this is WRTV News at 5, streaming now.
In just a matter of minutes, more Indianapolis healthcare workers will begin receiving their first doses of the coronavirus vaccine. Thanks for joining us here at 5. I'm Mark Mullins.
And I'm Amanda Starrentino. First up was IU Methodist, and tonight doctors and nurses and others at Ascension St. Vincent on the northwest side will get the vaccine. That's where WRTV's Cornelius Hawker is right now as they prepare for their vaccine rollout.
Yeah, so it's pretty tight quarters here. So we're trying to social distance. That's why you don't see me on camera. But right now we're waiting for the infectious disease specialist to come out, along with 2 respiratory therapists and 2 RNs. And something special about this is that the 2 RNs that are being treated and vaccinated are the ones who helped treat Ascension's first COVID-19 patient. Of course, things are getting underway right now, and we're trying to social distance and be careful. So that's why you cannot see me at the moment. You can see folks getting ready right there, but we will have a live report again at 7 o'clock on this. But for now, I'll send it back to you guys in the studio.
Our Cornelius Hawker live for us tonight. Healthcare workers at IU Methodist Hospital began receiving their first doses of the vaccine yesterday. IU doctors and nurses have been sharing video diaries with us about their experiences in dealing with the pandemic. Dr. Warren Gavin recorded this diary about an hour after he received his shot last night.
If some of your reservation has to do with the possibility of discomfort with the shot itself, please do not let that be a barrier. I felt almost absolutely nothing. And again, I feel fine afterwards. I'm hopeful now that the community makes the choice to help us take a huge step in getting back to normal and goes and gets vaccinated.
IU Health Methodist is expected to get another 3,000 doses by Monday. Healthcare workers and scientists are hopeful there will soon be 2 vaccines available to protect Americans from the virus. An FDA advisory meeting is underway right now on whether to recommend emergency use for Moderna's vaccine, which is being produced right here in Indiana, in Bloomington. ABC's Rena Roy reports.
Millions of these vials of the Moderna vaccine could soon be in transit and injected into the arms of Americans. At this hour, the FDA advisory panel is meeting virtually to vote on whether to recommend the vaccine for emergency use authorization.
Today's VRPAC meeting continues FDA's commitment to an expedited review process that is transparent, scientifically sound, and data-driven.
Then the FDA commissioner will have to sign off for authorization of 6 million doses to be sent out next week. Dr. Anthony Fauci speaking out on SiriusXM radio.
To have the vaccine already in the arms of people in less than a year is beyond unprecedented.
Healthcare workers rejoicing coast to coast with thousands already getting the Pfizer vaccine.
When the vaccine arrived yesterday, it just all became so real. From the very first day of this pandemic, protecting our teams was the most frightening part of it.
And still those on the front lines in the thick of it. Wednesday was the country's deadliest day since the pandemic began, with more than 3,600 people dying from the virus, according to Johns Hopkins University.
It's horrible. The tears are back. The tears are back, and it doesn't seem like they're going anywhere.
California reporting more than 53,000 new cases Wednesday alone. ICU beds dwindling across the state as the patient count keeps going up.
The numbers of deaths is accelerating, and unfortunately, we know we're going to be reporting more.
A new research letter in the respected JAMA Medical Journal says COVID-19 is now likely the leading cause of death here in the U.S., beating out heart disease and cancer, which have been the top killers for decades. Rena Roy, ABC News, New York.
Well, tomorrow, Vice President Mike Pence and Second Lady Karen Pence will publicly receive their first COVID-19 vaccinations. His office said they're doing it this way to promote the safety and efficacy of the vaccine and build confidence in the American people to get the vaccine. Surgeon General Jerome Adams will also get his vaccine at the same time. This will all take place at the White House.
Here in Indiana, as we get ready for the public to be vaccinated, a major push is underway to make sure it is being distributed equally and those who need it most have access to it. Several organizations teamed up with the ACLU of Indiana to send a letter to Governor Holcomb calling for equitable distribution. WRTV's Megan Santorum has more.
This is the letter to Governor Holcomb, signed by the ACLU of Indiana and several community organizations. It calls for transparency and equity with the public vaccination plan.
One that does not discriminate based on who people are.
We've reported in the past on how certain communities have been disproportionately impacted by COVID-19. According to the ACLU, the infection rate in prisons is 83% higher than the state's infection rate as a whole. Those in congregate care facilities and minority populations also disproportionately impacted.
And that comes not only because their health situation, they tend to have higher comorbidities. People with who in the minority communities have jobs, which expose them more to the virus.
Something Tony Mason with the Indianapolis Urban League has seen firsthand.
Every day we get to see the impacts of the fallout from the COVID-19 pandemic. The families and the community that we serve that struggled well before the pandemic, but the disparities have worsened what we see.
He signed on to the letter as well, saying groups like his are ready and willing to help educate at-risk communities and help distribute the vaccine.
We hosted COVID testing here as a part of our drive-through weekly food distributions. We've also done flu shots here, and so we're willing to play our part as a community partner to make it available.
Right now, under Governor Holcomb's plan, Phase 1A includes healthcare workers. Next up, under 1B, is vulnerable populations. However, the specifics have yet to be released. The ACLU hoping to learn more about that soon.
Transparency would give all of us faith that this vaccine is being distributed in a fair and equitable way.
Working for you, Megan Santorum, WRTV.
The Urban League of Indianapolis says that it hopes to start working with health leaders in January to come up with a plan for vaccine clinics and education. And we just learned that the Moderna vaccine received backing from the FDA panel, paving the way for a final FDA decision on emergency use. Kevin.
Yesterday, Amanda, had all the action. Today, just cloud cover. If stratus clouds are your favorite clouds, you've had a great day. Just a blanket of gray covering central Indiana. Temperatures moved very little as a result from morning low to afternoon high. That happens to be down in Monroe County. In Bloomington that you're looking at the cloud cover. It's pretty typical of the entire state. There's some snow showers and snow from near Muncie and Hartford City to Winchester, Portland, and Richmond. Those will continue to move to the north and east, but I think we may see some other flurries early this evening, even in central Indiana. Then the clouds will give way to partly cloudy conditions. The stratus will break up and temperatures are poised to fall into the lower 20s after that. Show you here 7 to 11. There you begin to see some breaks in the cloud cover. And then tomorrow morning, the coldest temperatures in the 7-day forecast. But Christmas morning may be colder. We'll allude to the cold blast that arrives late next week coming up.
We'll check in with you for that. Thank you, Kevin. On Capitol Hill, still no deal on a COVID relief package with just days left before tens of millions of Americans lose their aid. Lawmakers are haggling over the final details of a nearly $900 billion compromise bill. The deal would add the COVID relief package to a massive must-pass government spending bill due by midnight Friday. Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell says it's highly likely the Senate will miss that deadline and convene a rare weekend session to finish both bills. Negotiations include an additional additional $300 in weekly federal unemployment benefits, $600 in direct stimulus payments to most Americans, eviction protections, and billions of dollars for small businesses. A deal can't come soon enough for all of those who have lost jobs and continue to do so. Today, the Labor Department announced that 885,000 more Americans filed for unemployment benefits for the first time last week. That number has been slowly climbing for several weeks, and more than 20 million Americans are currently receiving some type of unemployment benefits. Here in Indiana, the number of first-time unemployment claims dropped for the first time this month. Nearly 18,000 new claims were filed last week, but claims remain much higher than before the pandemic began.
Our Hiring Hoosiers initiative works to connect you to job opportunities and training programs to better your career. As our Lauren Casey reports, a new partnership helps women who are behind bars get the training and job experience they need to set a new path.
Telework just means opportunity to me.
Shoshana Brent is an inmate in Rockville, Indiana. She tells me while she made some bad choices in her past, now she's focused on making good ones.
I have skills that I didn't even think that I could even obtain until I got here.
Shoshana is an employee of Televerde. Inventive Technologies announced a new partnership with Televerde. It's a sales and marketing organization that manages inbound customer service. Participation in this program is highly competitive.
I wanted to know what was going on because the Televerde, people recognize them.
Dave Abel is the president and CEO of Inventive Technologies. He says in addition to providing these customer service positions to incarcerated women, they work to connect people in prison with their families and provide them access to communications and learning materials.
You think about it as a citizen, as a taxpayer, it's expensive, and we need to get a greater value from our incarceration system. And we believe that this community is a community that is valuable, is essential to our growth as a country.
Right now, 45 customer service agents in Indiana are helping field calls between family, friends, and inmates through Televerde.
This also provides a wonderful opportunity for the women who are incarcerated who are working in this program. It not only provides them income and a fair wage, but it provides training opportunity, it provides skill development, and for many, it will provide a job post-incarceration.
It's empowering, especially behind these walls.
For Shoshana, this training and work could change her life.
I'm incarcerated, and I'm working for a global company. And I'm learning advanced technology, like everything. So I'll have the life skills that I need to be successful and to continue to have business conversations with CEOs of large companies.
And she's thankful to the Indiana Department of Corrections and Televerde for providing this opportunity to build a better life inside these walls.
Even when I'm going to be released, they're going to make sure that I have all the skills that I need to be successful. I'll be lined up with mentors from women who have been successful in their transition. I'll have help with college, housing, employment.
And her message to anyone who sees her story:
that we're not just our color that we wear, but the work that we're actually doing.
Working for you, Lauren Casey, WRTV.
Televerde serves more than just families of incarcerated individuals. The company also works with Fortune 500 companies. For more information on this program and job opportunities with their parent company, Inventive Technologies, go to hiringhoosiers.com.
Still ahead on WRTV, the accolades just keep on coming for IU football coach Tom Allen. The big honor announced today. And we're still a couple of months away from the start of INDYCAR season, and already a change to the schedule. The race that's getting a new date. Kevin?
Big temperature swings in my forecast. We'll go way up, and then look what happens around Christmas, way back down. All those details are straight ahead.
A big honor today for IU football coach Tom Allen. He has been named Big Ten Coach of the Year. He received the most votes from his fellow coaches and the media. Allen joins Bill Mallory as the only Indiana head coaches to earn Big Ten Coach of the Year honors. It's been quite a year for the Hoosiers. The team is ranked nationally for the 8th consecutive week, its longest streak since 1945. The team's 6-1 record is the best overall start since 1993 and best conference start since 1967. Their season is not over. The Hoosiers should receive their bowl bid on Sunday.
And INDYCAR is making a change to its 2021 schedule. It will move one of the series' longest running races to the end of the season calendar. The Grand Prix of Long Beach will now be run the weekend of September 26th. The race was originally scheduled for April, but California's COVID-19 lockdowns continue to be among the tightest in the country. So INDYCAR will now plan to use the Long Beach race as the championship finale to the 2021 schedule. They've raced there since 1975. Next year's race will be INDYCAR's 37th on the historic street circuit. Time now for your Storm Team forecast, and we've got some overcast skies right there. In fact, I'm looking at this view here, and you can hardly make it out, Kevin.
Let me just, there's downtown.
Can you see
can
it?
hardly see it from the Motor Speedway. Those are some snow showers, and of course getting close to setting sun, but we have some snow showers and flurries in the metro area that will continue this evening. Not expecting much in the way of accumulation, just a confirmation that it is cold in central Indiana. Well, say hello to Kara, Nikki, and Dee from Aero Packaging Solutions. You talk about a big help to the toy drive, not just this year, but over a decade. They've been an amazing boost to families in central Indiana. They donated a $2,000 check to help the RTV6 toy drive. Thank you very much to Aero Packaging Solutions. Temperatures in the low 30s with that light snow and flurry activity. Zionsville's at 31, Plainfield as well. Edinburgh and New Powell also consistently in the lower 30s. We move 4 degrees today, between 29 and 33. That's it. Typically, you'd have a 14-degree temperature range from morning low to afternoon high, but not when you have the stratus clouds hanging overhead. Statewide temperatures 29 in Peru to 37 in Evansville. As I mentioned, these snow showers and light snow, not expecting much in the way of accumulation. Temperatures after midnight are headed to the lower 20s because skies will gradually clear. That will be one of the coldest mornings until the end of next week. There are other snow showers northeast Indiana covering Ohio and into Pennsylvania. For us, first thing in the morning, with skies clearing overnight, it'll be a brighter start to your Friday. Cold, granted, but temperature 33 by noon, a mixture of clouds and sunshine and that wind out of the south. That will strengthen through the afternoon into Friday night. That will keep our temperatures from getting as cold. We'll stay above freezing into Saturday morning. Tomorrow, optimistic high 40 in Indy with clouds increasing late in the day. Weekend forecast Saturday 42 with rain chances. Then on Sunday dry, only slightly cooler. I pick up the timeline late Saturday because it's really Saturday night that we get some rain, may mix with some snow before ending, and another windy day on Saturday with temperatures responding to the south wind up to 42. Okay, Christmas week, look at this. Monday 47 up to 48 by Wednesday. A strong cold front will come through, so Thursday 32, the chance of some light snow, and indications are Christmas Day will be quite cold as we get a cold blast here. By quite cold, lower 20s maybe for highs, teens for lows. We'll see. Timing is always an issue. I hear the music. It's sad, but I gotta go. We'll be back right after this.
Now to today's numbers in the coronavirus fight in Indiana. The state reports about 6,400 new cases. They were recorded between November 28th and yesterday. The state also reports 79 more deaths of people with COVID. Those deaths occurred between November 8th and yesterday.
And we've been sharing numbers and data with you since the beginning of the pandemic, and those numbers are not just numbers. They represent our friends, family members, co-workers, and neighbors. That includes Audrey Beckley, who was married to former WRTV anchor and reporter Ken Beckley for nearly 56 years. Audrey died in August because of COVID-19. The virus took the life of the wife, mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother rather quickly. One day, doctors told Ken they were pleased with Audrey's progress, and then just hours later, he got a call from the hospital.
At 3 a.m., I got the call that things had just turned like that, and she was not going to make it. But a wonderful nurse held Audrey's cell phone for me 3 times that day for me to talk to Audrey and to tell her everything that you would want to tell your spouse as he or she were dying. I also told her that I would be fine and the kids would be fine, and not to just hang on out of fear that we wouldn't be.
And Ken walked us through the home he shared with Audrey, showing us all sorts of memories, telling stories about their rich and full life together that was cut short. We asked him if he had a message for those who are not taking COVID-19 seriously.
The maskless of America have an opportunity to really help bring down this pandemic. Those that refuse to mask and follow the other health precautions, just the three primary ones, are among the most selfish people ever to have lived. This is a pandemic, for God's sake.
If you have lost a loved one to COVID-19, we want to hear their story. You can share it with us by emailing facesofcovid@wrtv.com.
An investigation into a local police department, the accusations and the questions about public safety and taxpayer dollars. Tonight at 6, what WRTV Investigates is uncovering after more than a year of digging.
And still ahead at 5:30, it is not only students but teachers who are getting an education in virtual learning this year. One teacher shares what he's learned to make sure his students have the best experience possible.